Every love story has two versions, the one people see and the one people live. The world watched Prince Charles and Lady Diana have a magical royal romance. Tiaras, church bells, and excitement. But beneath the post photos and the choreographed appearances, the relationship wasn't something to aspire to. It was brought down by childhood wounds, clashing attachment styles, miscommunication, unmet needs, and unwanted third parties. Today, we will look at the ups and downs of their relationship, not as something to be influenced by, but just as two people navigating life. How do we understand relationships? Well, we need to start from the beginning. How did Prince Charles and Lady Diana grow up? They both had very privileged childhoods, but they weren't always happy. Charles was raised in a strict household with a lack of affection. The Queen was always busy and wasn't able to give him much attention, but she also lacked in giving him affection, which caused him to search out for it in different ways. As Diana puts it, he never wanted a lover, he wanted a mother. His father wasn't much better either. He was very attentive, but thought Charles was girlish and didn't want him to express much emotion. Diana's childhood, on the other hand, was less stable. Her parents divorced when she was 7, which affected her a lot. She felt very abandoned by her mother, which made her reach out to other potential mother figures, such as the Queen. Reportedly, Diana had to mother her youngest brother a lot, which gave her a warm, motherly feel that may have attracted Charles, even though she was a teenager at the time. Noticeably, these are very different childhoods, which gave them different attachment styles. Charles had an avoidant attachment style, and Diana had an anxious attachment style, which clashed terribly throughout their marriage.
And I suppose in love.
Of course.
Whatever in love means.
When their relationship began in 1980, it was a whirlwind of excitement, intense infatuation, idealization, and emotional high. They dated in August, engaged by February, and married by July. For Diana, this was a dream in motion, warmth, affection, and hope. For Charles, it was the excitement of finally having a wife and being able to lead on his legacy. And for a moment, the fantasy was mutual. But as things continued, Charles retracted, possibly because he realized that he would not have a chance with Camilla, his past lover, again. Diana felt that shift immediately and felt the emotional distance from Charles and knew something was off. Their commitment started as something personal. It was something that they both wanted because they liked each other, especially in the beginning when Diana was clearly in love. Charles may have been more in love with the fact that he was getting a wife, but nonetheless, it started personal. As their marriage continued, it became less personal. The spark is gone, and there is a wedge in their relationship, the wedge being a literal person. It became more of a structural and moral commitment. They both knew that they wanted to stay together for the children and the stability, as well as Diana grew up with divorced parents and really did not want to end up like them. They knew that for the royal duties and the public views, divorce would look very bad. So their marriage just became another one of their royal duties, and not something they actually wanted. Their relationship lacked emotional intimacy. Relationships thrive when emotional intimacy is present and partners feel seen, valued, and understood. And they have what is called perceived partner responsiveness. Diana consistently reached for this closeness. She would reach out for him. She would be the one who would kiss him. And one of the most memorable moments was when she performed a dance to Uptown Girl for Charles's birthday, hoping it would delight him. But he didn't enjoy it as much. But Charles, conditioned to not engage emotionally, reacted with embarrassment rather than appreciation. His lack of responsiveness made Diana feel even more isolated. Over time, these unmet bids for connection eroded their intimacy and deepened their emotional divide. One core thing that relationships need to survive is equity, a balance of giving and receiving. Diana consistently gave more emotional labor, more effort in public, and more attempts to make the marriage work. She wanted the stability she never had as a child. Yet, Charles often felt overshadowed.
It's 3 times a week for 4 hours.
The popularity and the love that she was given. Diana's devotion wasn't reciprocated, creating a profound inequity that made her feel undervalued and made him feel threatened. And this was never properly communicated. which caused an even bigger rift between them. No aspect of their relationship influenced its downfall more than Charles's infidelity. Charles had an affair with his past lover, Camilla. Camilla was their number one argument. It was the thing that Diana always brought up and Charles always shot down. But Diana knew that they were talking, and he knew that she was truly his only lover. She knew that Charles was not in love with her like he was with Camilla. Camilla was the emotional cornerstone that Charles always returned to. She offered validation and understanding that he didn't know how to give or receive to Diana. Camilla herself dismissed Diana as just a little girl, making sure Diana knew Charles opened up to her instead. Diana was later asked if she thought that Camilla was the one who really brought down their relationship, and she said this.
Do you think Mrs. Parker Bowles was a factor in the breakdown of your marriage?
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
Charles's infidelity is what caused the final destruction of their relationship and the inevitable divorce, and it just could not be repaired. Charles and Diana's relationship teaches us that love is not sustained by titles, fairy tale weddings, or public adoration. It's built on attachment compatibility, emotional intimacy, communication, responsiveness, equity, and mutual commitment. When these foundations crumble, even the most iconic couples fall. And what I learned from their story is that relationships succeed not because they look perfect from the outside, but that they function with empathy and mutual care in private. Charles and Diana's relationship reminds us that the emotional wounds from childhood echo loudly in adulthood, and that love cannot thrive where responsiveness, respect, and reciprocity are missing.